let me share this, start sharing the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Where were we? Let's open this one. And once it is opened, we have done the requisite changes on the form XML, right? But let me open it again. Okay, last day we have added this particular. What happened? Oh, not this one. This is not the project. Let me close this. This is the project, right? So let me open this one. Okay, let me open the form XML. We will see that there is that Jackson. So this Jackson format, data format XML was helping us to convert the data from the JSON to XML, or maybe from XML to JSON as per the instruction. So we will open the controller REST, item employee controller REST. We have done two things, two functions. One is getting all the employees and getting a particular employee with an AID. So this is the path. This is the REST API. Clear? Fine. And therefore we know how if there was any error, how we did use the response entity for this. Otherwise, the response entity will display the record, or will hold that record for displaying. It will return that value which is there in the response entity. If there is an error, that is the record is not found, what will happen is it will use the item IT employee not found exception. So let me open that IT exception controller, IT employee exception controller. And this is the message that is going to be displayed or put into the response entity for the final display. We have seen that. We can open this exception, which is just runtime exception, which is extended. We will also open the entity file. We will also open the repo file, the repository. So repository, we don't have anything else. Let us do the next one. The next one is saying that we will try to create. We have done the find, the read part, either reading all the employees or reading a particular employee. But now we are going to create a new record. Okay. Through the Postman and save it in the IT employee table. I'm taking this out. There is some error because this needs to be changed to IT employee and IT employee. Or better, I will copy this. And here, ITEMP. Okay. So add alliance. So what will we do? Add IT employee.
Item employee.
This one also IT employee. Very simple. You just have to follow the pattern. Item. That object is item. But this is a request body. I will explain that. First of all, let me change all this. Response. Okay, this I am not using this. I will use the other one. Because we have something, we are using an ID. Okay, that ID might not be found. So there could be not found. I mean, that there could be some error. Or there is a, if there is success, there is a response message that will be put into the response body or the response entity. Okay, therefore we are using response entity instead of using the IT employee. Better we take this off. Fine. So let us explain this part. What is happening here? We are trying to create a new record from the Postman interface. That means, like in JSP, you are having a form. In that form, you are saying a post method and you are giving an action. Through that action, you are creating a function in the controller, right? That is the way that we did. But we were capturing the request parameter from that form, from that post. Here also, we are using a Postman to create the particular new data because I'm going to save a new employee data into the IT employee table. So what is happening? I'm using a post mapping and of course I will give ITEMP. This is my path. Like in the get mapping, you have given a path. Here, I'm saying post mapping, and this is the path. That is, this is the REST API. Clear? What I'm going to do is, I am with this post mapping annotation, I immediately have to give some function that this is qualifying this particular function or annotating this function. I am trying to add an entity record. And the response, the output of this function is a response entity because I can hold this, in this map, I can hold a particular object. I can hold a string and only when the value of this Boolean is output is true. Basically, that is the one. And I'm saying add employee. Here, what is the request body? The request body is nothing but the mapping that the form. Like in JSP, you are given a form. Here, it is the request body. This is an object. And what is the request body having? It is nothing but an entity and the object by the name ITN. Did you understand this particular part? What is the prototype of this function?
Yes, sir.
In this get IT employee, what was the prototype? That you are mentioning the path variable, because in the employee, in the path itself, you are mentioning the particular ID that you are looking for, the record. But here you are saying that I would not try to search anything. I am just getting this request body with the record that I'm going to record of type IT employee. I'm going to put this object. I have got this object from the request body, and I'm going to add this in the IT employee table. And in return, I will return a response message, whatever. Because anytime, even if I save and suddenly it has updated the data, not updated, it has created a record in the table. But still, I, as a client, I would like to see a response back, whether the action has been done correctly. Only when the response entity is okay, that is, it has created this employee, that is, it has saved in the repository in the database, then only you are returning some message back to the user that yes, it was success or a failure, whatever it is. It should be a success, because you are not controlling, you are not doing any data manipulation from your end. You have left it on the Spring Boot. So see the beauty of this thing. You are not even given anything. You have just used the repo and the save. That means the insert command, the insert query will be handled by the Hibernate, by the ORM, by the JPA. You are doing nothing. You are just, but only that you need to know that I have to give some message back to the user. And what is the message that I'm going to give? IT employee record created. Whenever this is true, that means this message will be displayed back to the user. So you are saying the response entity is okay when the created employee has been actually, I mean, this operation has been successfully done. If the response is, always it is, what is the okay value? Anyone? What is the success value?
True. Boolean.
That is Boolean. What is the value?
Value is true.
Value is true, but what is the value? See, this is our all HTTP. This is happening over the HTTP. So this response body, the response entity, these are all an object. The request body is an object over the HTTP protocol, because you are doing it over the web. You are using this REST API over the web. So the web has some values like 404, 500, 505. So what will be the response from the browser with OK, when it is OK, when it is success? The value always you will see, it is 200. 200 for success. That is nothing but OK. So whenever the Boolean is true, that means this operation has correctly been done, then I will store this message into the response body. I have put that message into the response body. And after that, I'm saying that this will happen only when the response entity is okay for this particular operation. And if that is true, if it is success, you are, and mostly it will be success. Mostly why? Because, and what, can you tell me what is the one particular area when it will not be okay? When it will not be okay, can you tell me when the response entity is not okay? That is, this Boolean is false. So in that case, I will not be able to display this message on the browser. The response body should not be this because it has encountered an error. What could be the error? Any idea? There can be an error. You are trying to save a new item or a new record, but there can be an error. One possible error could be there. Any idea? Oh, we will check that. We will check that. So can we execute this one? Any questions up to this point? Any question? If you see this particular code, do you have any questions? What we are doing? I see Anirban today is there. Anirban, how are you?
Yes, sir, okay.
Okay.
The response dot
So,
put means data is added, sir. This IT employee record.
Where which line number you are
Line
talking
number
about?
84.
84.
Yes.
84. It is saying that this is a response body. I mean, the response is one of the objects, like request.
Yes, sir. Request call
Is a object. Here, response is an object as well. And this is an object of type map. The map is the class collection object.
Yes, sir.
You are creating a new hash map. Sort of a collection. This is a collection you have learned in Java.
Java, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Java. So this response is an object. And this response, I have added one message that I will put in that message only whenever the Boolean value is true.
Sir, if it is false, then the message can be added.
And when can this be false? When this is not okay. That means this saving has failed. You are trying to save it in the repository. You have gone and taken from the repository the save function. You are saving this ITAMP, IT employee, that entity object. You are creating one, you are inserting one row. But when can this insert fail? You are saying insert into table, whatever this table name, insert into table name, values this, comma, this, comma. Okay. When can that fail?
when AID is the same.
When the AID will be one of the existing AIDs. That means because you cannot have a duplicate primary key. That is most of the cases we never try to give the employee ID. Let the employee ID or the AID will be automatically generated. And that is how we have designed our database. That means you shall never enter the auto-generated ID. Because otherwise you may get an error, unique constraint violation error. Unique constraint violation error. That means you are trying to violate the unique constraint. Unique means the primary key is a unique key. Primary key, which is AID in our case, is unique or cannot be duplicate. That is a violation, database constraint violation. In that case only, this will not be okay. There will be some error. And if there is an error, Boolean is not true. Therefore, I will not be able to put in that response. Okay. Let me see how it is handled.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions that you might have? You have just put in that response ID when it is okay. You are having this created employee. And what is that created employee? It is nothing but an entity IT employee. That means that particular record which you are saving. You have got that into this particular object. And you have built that response entity with that particular the record. And when you are returning to the client, you are returning with a, in our case, what is the client? Because there is no JSP. So what is the client in our case?
Postman.
Postman. Our case, we are using Postman as a JSP. Because we are just testing our whether these functions, that these REST APIs work. And what is the REST API name? Or what is the REST service name for this creating the database, creating a record? It is ITEMP, ITEMP.
ITMP, yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the path. Fine. Let me first time, let me run this. Oh, there is an error. There is an error. Why? Com MySQL CJ, because always you look by the caused by, the root cause. Com MySQL CJ exceptions, unable to connect exception. Public key retrieval is not allowed. Can anybody tell me what could be the exception? Unable to connect what? Okay, let us go up. Java SQL non-transient connection exception, public key retrieval. So whenever you get some SQL error and you are seeing MySQL connector Java, that is basically the driver is not being able to use or connect to the database. It's a connection issue. Why? Because I have not opened the database. Isn't it? So let me open it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me open it. Because how will it fetch the data? Or how will it work with the database? The database has to be up and running. Now it has made the database up and running. I can check. Yeah, this is all the records. Fine. Now I have to rerun this and stop this and rerun this. Okay, it has started. Oh, fine. I have to open that Postman. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is my, will it be get? Okay, first of all, let me use the get. And I will use the, what is the path for get?
Say post.
No, path. I'm saying the path. Let's say I am fetching all the records. So what will be the path?
Oh,
Items.
items.
Okay. This is the REST API service. Items. And I will say send. And let it be in this JSON format. Fine. Because here we have given JSON, application JSON. Fine. What I will do, I will copy this. And I will go to body. Because I have to have a form. I have to input something, right? I will paste it over here in the body. Paste it over here. Will I give anything? AID?
Yes, sir. It will be error.
Okay, let it be the AID. So I will, what is my last AID? Let me check it manually. It is 15. So I can give more than 15. Let me give more than 15, which is maybe 16 or 17 or 19, whatever. It's a new record. Okay, so I'm giving a new name. So Vishwanath Sarkar. Okay, and maybe the tag is .NET. .NET and C hash. Blue. So it's a fresh data, new data. First of all, I do it correctly. What I will do, can I use get and send?
No.
Save it. I want to save it into the database because
You have to post.
I am going to use this function. I am going to use this add IT employee. So do you see it is post? So what will be the REST API method? It should be post. Without post, how can I add? So many things I have done. I have given the gate such that I can pick up one of the records. I put it in the body, Okay. And after that, now will this, what is the path? What is the REST API for this particular function?
Item.
Huh?
ITMP.
And would you like to give any value? AID? No. Because we are adding. We are not fetching a particular AID. So what we will do? Now, we have given the correct path and given the correct method post. And this is the data that I'm going to post. So I will pick up. I will send. It is saying status 41415 unsupported media type. The request entity has a media type which has a server or resource does not support. Oh, okay. Okay. So let me check. There shouldn't be any data added. No, nothing has been added. So let me send now. Now you see something has been done. This is the browser, or you can see the preview. The IT employee, see again, this thing has been coming as a JSON format of the response. Better to see the pretty form. So pretty gives me that this is the JSON data. The response entity is coming with a response that the IT employee record added in the IT employee table, because the operation was true. This operation of posting this data was true. Did you get it? So next thing is to verify whether actually the data has gone. I will say control. So see, the AID 16 has been created, Vishwanath Sarkar, .NET, C#, and Blue. So is your function working? Is that REST API working?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Very good. Now I will just change the name, Mukherjee. Okay. And the rest I am keeping it same. But I am giving the AID as 16, the same AID. And I'm trying to now post it. Yeah, the same thing. Post it. IT employee record created, added in the table, true. So it was able to insert it. So see, it has not inserted one new record, but it has updated. Basically, this is an update. But it should not, because I have given not put. I have not given put, I have given post. So therefore, this is a wrong operation. And why did it not capture the error? Because you have not asked to be captured in this code. So this code is not correct. Where IT employee ID equal to this. So it is, see, here now it is updating. First time it inserted because it was a new record and the AID was not there. But next time, though it was a post, so it internally converted to put. See the beauty of it. But still, your JPA has handled it correctly. The REST API is working as an update. Remember, this one is update, but I was not supposed to update. I was supposed to, where is that? I was supposed to do a post. That means I was supposed to do a new entry. But it internally converted into put. And it has updated this AID 16. Clear? But that is still a wrong way of doing things, because you intended to insert. So in that cases, in most of those cases, you leave it on the and now I'm saying shortcut. Will that work?
Yes.
I have not given the AID because my design of the database says that my table is an auto-generated primary key. But I doubt whether this will work. Because why? What happened over here? Let me check the entity. See, this one is not on. This is remark. That means generated value, the strategy is generation type identity for this ID is not on. But let's see what happens. If I do not give this, I'm expecting that it is automatically taken care by Spring JPA and will have what is the next value? It should be added as 17, right? Let's see. If it does, then it's very good. Oh, it is saying IT employee record created, added is IT employee table. Then must have something, either insert or update. But it cannot update because I have not given any ID, AID. So let me check. Insert. It is inserting. Let me check the database. But the problem is, it is inserting, but without any AID. So see, you have to approach, your logic should be built step by step. You are seeing everything. Why it is not generating? Because you have not given this instruction, this annotation. Let me try this, whether this will work. Because unless you say that you want the AID, which is ID, to be generated automatically, it will not do. You are the programmer. Spring can only help you, or JPA will only help you, but it has its own way of helping you. It cannot help you like randomly, arbitrarily. It has to be a very logical thing. Let me see. So I have done some changes in the entity. Let me stop and do this. And prior to that, let it work. Let me first of all remove this row. How do you remove? Delete. You tell me, delete from IT employee.
Where AID equal to 0.
Where
AID equal to 0.
Okay, let me check. I don't know. Yeah. So that AID has gone. That 0 AID has gone. I have deleted it. Okay. Now it has started. Okay, well, let me go to this thing. And I am going to insert Vishwanath Sarkar. Okay, let me check this to just differentiate. Java. Okay, let me send this. There is some internal error. 500 internal server error, generic error message given when no more specific message is suitable. That means, let me check what happened here. It is giving some error. It is saying high-banded exception. The database returned no natively generated identity value. So my design says that, yeah, this one is correct, but the strategy that you are using is not being able to generate the ID value. Some issue there. So let me check here. Nothing should happen. It is only Vishwanath Mukherjee the last. There is no 17 record. And let me check IT employee. What is the... Sorry.
So AID is not a primary key.
Okay. So this is some problem. Is it employee? IT employee. Okay. So fine. I have to change this. I have to do something such that it becomes a primary key and the default expression is 0, that is fine. But I have to make it auto-generated. So I have to auto-increment or auto-generated. Okay. Primary key, not null. So this AID is primary key AID. This column AID is data type is int, and it is virtual storage. Fine, that is fine. Primary, not null, and it is generated. If I say apply, will it do? So it is saying, it is giving this internally query. What it is saying, alter table IT employee, change column AID int generated always as virtual, but I don't think it will work. Yeah, there is an error. So alter table, this one generate column AID int generate always as stored. Okay. Primary key, not null.
So it's generated, not auto increment.
But auto increment is something has to be done to enable this auto increment. Playing operation with there was an error. JSP. Okay. Let me see. Now this has been auto incremented. Okay. Just 1 minute. Sorry, there was a call. So now let me let me check whether this is working. Even if I don't give this, it should work. First of all, let me save this and rerun this. What is the final value? We have up to 16, right?
Yes, 16.
16. Oh, there is one null record inserted. So what we do is you cannot remove a null record. Fine. Let me go there. Did we start it? Yeah. So fine. Finally, we are trying to insert Vishnu Sarkar. Okay. And we have nothing to change over here. We send it. Yes. The IT employee record created, added in the IT employee true. So let me check now. Yes. So Vishnu Sarkar, you see, this is 17. Okay. If I give this on, like here, it will be insert into employee. It worked fine. Hibernate doesn't have any problem. If I keep this on, save it. I will say Modak. C. And I will send it. Yes, let me check. So 18, Vishnath Modak. So it either generated or auto increment. Both will work in the same way. Today, I have to leave you here. So there are two more functions. What are the two more functions? One
Update
is
and delete.
update and delete. Yes, correct. Very correct. So update, what do you think? Update, we have to fetch an ID and then update on that ID, right? So this part is a bit, there is a bit of coding should be there. But delete is very simple. Only that delete, you need to give a response back. Can we do it tomorrow?
Yes.
I thought I would be able to, because I was late. I was involved in some other work. I was late, so I could not complete this. Anyway, so we will do it tomorrow and finish it up.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. I have to go someplace. Anirban, you have not spoken today even once. What happened?
Yes, sir. Actually, I was actually fearing safety was against fortune.
I didn't get you.
Sir, I have some fear that you will again start scolding again me.
Don't get afraid. No. That was.
I know, sir. You see, it
It's
is
a-
my
it
mistake,
was
sir. Sir, it is not your mistake. It was my mistake. I am not able to reproduce something which should have been done. Actually,
that's fine. But you have understood now the annotation. If you want to reproduce the annotation,
yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
you have to make that a controller.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Basically a component.
Mhm.
A component can be inserted into another component or injected into another. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
that is part of the learning and you will do it. I am very sure. So I will stop the sharing today. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
And